All right, we should be live now. What's up, everybody? Happy Hump Day, 25th of August. We are going to run through this day slate real quick. It's only a three-gamer, so it should be easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, we got a short three-gamer. Excited to talk this one out with you, if nothing else, though.
Yeah, exactly. So I was actually curious because I did want to. I was curious where you were going to go with pitching today, because for me, there's three guys in play, but I know you're not really a big fan of two of the three guys I like. So I thought maybe there was a chance you would view it differently. Like, who are you looking at for pitching?
It's tough to view it that much differently. I mean, McCullers obviously stands out as the best pitcher on the slate. At home against the Royals. Well, him and Marquez, the best pitchers on the slate. On paper, I mean, it looks like McCullers Marquez, like easily. I do think that because it's a three-game slate, neither of those guys are Max Scherzer in his prime. You could definitely look at using a couple Royals and or Cubs bats in tournaments, but on paper, it does look like McCullers Marquez with Skubal right below them.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at. So
I mean,
I kind of figured that. I know you're not a big Scooble or McCullers guy, but given the other options are Zach Davies and John Lester, I know you're not really a big fan of those dudes either.
I was on Skubal last time out. He's in good form right now.
Yes.
St. Louis has not been great against lefties. This is another one. Like you tell me Skubal's going to be chalky. Sure, I could see using a couple Cardinals bats in tournaments. It's baseball. But on paper, those three guys stand out like for sure. And then I think you get to Zach Davies.
I can't do it. I every time I've watched him this year, he looks god awful. I'm not saying he couldn't be good. He was good the other day against Miami. I don't respect the Rockies, but I'm more likely to get to Rockies bats today.
Fair enough. All it is the three-game slate, and he's facing maybe the worst offense on the slate, on the road. So I get the case for using some Rockies bats, sure.
I think for me, this one breaks down to when ownership comes out. I'm assuming the Astros will be popular. And then where does the secondary love go to? Does it go to Detroit or does it go to Colorado or is it kind of spread out? Because if you're telling me the chalk build is Astros, Tigers, well, then maybe I want to go Astros, Rockies or Tigers, Rockies. If you're telling me the chalk build is, Astros and then, Tigers and Rockies are like equally split, well, then I have more of a decision to make.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Also, I'd like to hear about the weather a little bit closer in Chicago. Wind blowing in, wind blowing out. That can make a little bit of a difference for my decision. We're both Marquez guys. He's struggled a little bit the last couple starts. Could that possibly come through again today? Me throwing a Cubs batter too, but I mean, when it comes down to it, if I'm making one lineup, it's hard for me not to have Marquez in there.
Yeah, I get that. I guess I am I wonder how much love they get, but I like Detroit all over here, the offense and the pitching. So I'm hoping that Detroit doesn't get much love. Now, there's only 3 games, so every team's going to get love, but I think you said it best. Like, is it going to be the Astros and the Cardinals? Is it going to be the Astros and the Rockies? Like, whatever one secondary team is not getting love is probably one I'll gravitate to.
Yeah, I'm going to assume the Astros are going to be popular. You got Alex Bregman coming back today.
They're also just the best offense on the slate, like by far. I mean, it's just what it is. It's not even like they're in a great spot. I respect Mike Minor, but I mentioned Gurriel yesterday. He's on fire. Correa looks good. They've got guys at the bottom of their lineup that are hitting. So, yeah, I mean, Houston makes a lot of sense. They were in the same spot last week. They just faced the Royals and Mike Minor in the day game. That was actually the game where they scored in extra innings, and I thought they were going to start going off after that. So it's not even that just like they make so much sense here. They're just the best offense on the slate.
Yeah, I think Gurriel might be my favorite Astros bat. Always been great against lefties. Underrated player, playing well. I think he has 3 career home runs off Minor.
He's just in good form. Like he was slumping for a while, came back from the disabled list, and has just been really good for the past 4 or 5 games, 6 games.
Agreed. Does it mean anything to you knowing that Bregman's back in the lineup today?
I mean, it helps. Bregman's a stud, right? Like I love Bregman.
How about from an intangible factor?
I mean, yeah, like sure, Houston is got to be feeling a little bit of pep in their step, getting like one of their best players back. This team is so like they've been there and done that though. So I don't know like how much that stuff affects them. If anything, it helps them here for sure.
Yeah, dude's been out for 2.5 months, so take for whatever that's worth. I can understand anybody's opinion on this one that it doesn't matter. It does matter. Better bat in the lineup. How could it make it worse? Maybe he's cold. Whatever it might be. This dude is, like you said, he's a flat out stud.
And he's so cheap.
Yeah, and then again, they always have these cheaper outfielders in Tucker and Brantley. Tucker's back off the IL, everything like that. So I think, I guess, honestly, maybe fade the Astros today and go with Tigers Rockies is another, possibility.
I think the move is either to fade the Astros or go all in on them and go all in bottom of their lineup, et cetera. And I see both sides of it.
Yeah, you're one to talk about bottom of the lineup. So I didn't play much last night, but the one lineup I made was heavy on the Angels, and I used all the wrong pieces.
Yeah, because the bottom of their lineup went absolutely off. Like Ohtani didn't do anything. Lagares had a monster game. Marsh and Adele, and those guys were all at the very bottom of their lineup. There's another team like that too. Oh yeah, the Nationals, because I used some Nationals against Luzardo last night, and the 7-hitter had a monster game. 6, 7, 8 was really good, and the rest of the lineup was not.
Yeah, it was a funny night in the sense that I picked good teams, but got no points out of the hitters I chose, and I had Tyler O'Neill who got scratched because I didn't even bother to check on it again later.
I was gonna say, how about the pitching for a slate loaded with pitching?
Yeah.
I liked Barrios a lot. I talked about him on the public video. He wasn't getting any love. He got lit up. I mean, he finally started to turn his night around and got pulled. Flaherty was even worse. Burns was not good at all. Malley was pretty good, but could only go 5 innings. There was just bad spots all over.
Bumgarner wasn't great.
No, he was bad, and he had been pitching so well before that.
Honestly, Bumgarner wasn't good. He might have ended up better than a couple of those guys just because he went more innings.
He definitely ended up better than a couple of those guys. He didn't have a lot of Ks at all, which also hurt him. He got hit and he didn't have many Ks, but Flaherty only went 2 innings max. Barrios only went 3 innings. He only ended with 5 points. Burns went through a bunch of pitches, but he was throwing so many pitches. There's no way he went deep.
Yeah, it was funny because I have a year-long league going where I'm kind of surging. It's a roto league where I've been down in 10th and 9th all year out of 12, and now I'm up to 6th, and I can make a real surge of some good starting pitching this end of the season. So I had Bumgarner and Flaherty going last night. I'm like, all right, could be a good day, a couple of good starts, and I could possibly bump up 4 or 5 points in a roto league. Well, that did not happen at all. Flaherty and Bumgarner were god awful.
I feel your pain because I'm in my year-long league. I'm kind of making a push as well, and I've been starting Nate Lowe at first base for weeks on end, and he has sucked. So I finally dropped him going into the week because it's a weekly league and picked up Carlos Santana. Well, Nate Lowe had 5 hits last night, 3 extra base hits, and Carlos Santana didn't play. So, yeah, I feel your pain.
Fantasy sports. What are you going to do about them? All right, guys, just a quick recap, and we'll let you bounce for the day. We have night baseball to talk about after this, but it's Marquez, McCullers, and Skubal. For me, I'll check back on ownership closer to slate, and it'll help me make my decisions. Gun to head, though, it would be McCullers, Marquez with Skubal a close third. Sounds like we agree on that. We assume Houston will be very popular today because of the actual good offense rolling. And then we both want to verify with ownership percentages where people are going. If ownership didn't matter, are you more Tigers or more Rockies today? I think you said Tigers, right?
I think Tigers. And I'll say this, and kind of on the opposite note of what you just said, ownership does matter. So, man, I don't think Mike Minor's the craziest play in the world.
No. No. I mean, he's a decent pitcher. You know what I mean?
This is literally only he's a decent pitcher and he's facing an offense that I think could be real chalky. Not I like Minor today, he's going to be in a good spot, anything like that.
Well, the other thing is, I think we agree. McCullers is probably the clear and obvious choice. He's just the best DFS pitcher on the slate. Rock and roll, everything like that. And we both love Marquez, but Marquez has had plenty of points in his career where he hasn't pitched well, and he's been getting hit hard his last couple of starts. Now, granted, this was against 2 pretty good baseball teams, but, I mean, again, I'm not surprised when Marquez has off days.
No, I'm not either. I'm definitely not either. So, for a 3-gamer, it is pretty interesting. When I was looking at it last night, I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I like it more than the normal 3-gamer, that's for sure.
Same.
All right, guys, good luck today.
Thank you.